guys, welcome back to Jungle Flowers Canada. Sorry, I haven't made a video in a while. I've actually been very busy in work with this COVID-19 because we're short-staffed, so my workload has increased. So I decided I'd do a video on my Hoyas and bring you on a tour. So everybody knows, I'm sure by now, that I am a plant lover and I love all types of plants, but there is something about Hoyas that is very addictive, and anyone who collects them will agree with me, I'm sure. So I'm just going to take you through the house to all the rooms that I have them in. Now, mine aren't the most mature. They are getting there, some of them, and some of them are very, very small. But I just thought you might enjoy seeing what I have, and you could familiarise yourself with some of the different varieties out there. Now, just so you know, guys, I do have an order coming in from Thailand with a few more Hoyas. I do have some other tropical plants coming in also, and as soon as I receive them, I will do an unboxing, and you guys can get to share the excitement of my plants when they arrive. So guys, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe to my channel, you know I would really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to ask in the comments below, and take care of yourself during these crazy times. Okay guys, so here we have the Pubicalys. So this is the speckled Pubicalys, and you can see how beautiful she's doing. Look at this plant, it is so gorgeous. And she has these like tendrils coming all the way down, and they're also producing leaves. Now the amazing thing about this plant is it's not in front of a window. It is actually just getting its light from up here. You can see I have, let me see, can I show you? I have these lights, they're 5,000 Kelvin lights, and I do have a lamp there. Sorry, my dogs are getting obstreperous, and it's doing very well. It's thrown out so much growth. All these tendrils that are, that's probably not the right name for them, but all these tendrils that are flowing down have been just reproducing quite prolifically, and I'm so in love with this plant. I think it's so beautiful. In a way, it's a shame that you can't see the top. I'm actually standing on a chair, so you know, to get the full beauty of her, it's a shame that I have to stand up, but I still love her, and I'm very pleased with how this one is doing. Okay guys, so these are the cuttings I brought in from Thailand last year, and I was actually getting very worried because I wasn't getting any growth on them. But this is my Hoya Obovata, and literally a week ago it started growing out these two new leaves on top. See them there? It's a teeny tiny one. And I love this plant. I'm so delighted. So that shoot was there the whole time, but absolutely nothing was growing from it. So just be patient, guys. That's been a year, if not over a year, for this one to grow. So I'm very happy with my Obovata. This is my Krinkle 8. So this is a Hoya Carnosa Krinkle 8. And this actually did put off a new leaf maybe about a month or so ago. So I'm happy to see that one is taking off. This is the one that I'm so saddened by. So this is my Finlaysonii. Now I know this needs an awful lot of humidity, and you see I put it in the window, so it got slightly scorched. You see here it got slightly scorched. So I took it back out of the window. Now it did come initially with two leaves, but one of the leaves was dead when it arrived. So if you can see this piece here, which is kind of like the growing, I'm not sure the exact name, but I think this could be dead. It's very brown looking, but I'm afraid to touch it because I really don't want to damage the plant. But the leaf is still alive, so I'm holding out hope for it that maybe it will start off a new shoot and give me some new leaves. So isn't it magnificent? Look at the leaf on that. It's so beautiful. So again, that's a year. There was a damaged piece on the top. You can see I cut it off. So I'm holding out hope that something will happen. Now this is my Hoya Kerii variegated. Again, absolutely nothing happening with it, but today I just noticed, I don't know if you can see here, just here, see this tiny little shoot coming up here? That's new. So I'm so excited because I'm thinking maybe I'm getting a new leaf. So this is beautiful. You have to have patience with Hoyas because they work off their own schedule. So this was my own plant. This is the Kentiana. I actually just stuck that variegated leaf in there because it fell off the mother plant. I don't think anything will happen with it, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So this plant was variegated. I did tell you in another video that I changed the grow lights it was under, and it actually reverted back to a solid green. I do still have a little bit of variegation on it, but it's very upsetting that I did lose a lot of the variegation. So they're my babies. This is a Dischidia, which is very closely related to the Hoya. I do have a bigger plant of the Dischidia up there. Okay, so this is the Kentiana I was telling you about. So as I say, this was fully variegated. You can see the beautiful variegation there, but there you can see how it has reverted to green. So it was doing amazing. I had it under pink grow lights, and then I decided to change the grow lights in my family room to white, and it just simply wasn't getting enough light. So I've moved it here to this window, and it's doing much better. Actually, those leaves look a little dry. I did just water and fertilize it, but you can see why people are just go crazy about Hoyas. They're just simply beautiful. Never mind that the flowers are beautiful, I just love the leaves. And here we have a Hoya Macrophylla, and this is the variegated one. Again, look at how beautiful this plant is. So same deal, it's not in a window, but it is under a light, and it does get light from this lamp also. And you can see it has thrown out what I am referring to as tendrils, which I know is probably not the correct name for it. So you can see the new leaves there. So can you see this? I'm not sure if that's a little flower shoot. They say don't cut anything off, so we'll see what happens. So there's my Hoya Macrophylla. Beautiful plant. I have a number of Hoya Hindu rope. This is just one that I have in my kitchen. It's so cute, and it's very happy here. Loves its location. It did get some damage on it, and I wasn't sure what it was, and then realized it was actually my kettle. So the steam from my kettle damaged it. But I cut it off, and it's happily growing again. So this is another Dischidia Obovata. This is actually quite a fast growing plant, and I just had a tiny little cutting of it, and it's growing happily away here. So this is my Retusa folia. So if you can see these little shoots coming out here, they're quite long. They just came since I bought it, and it's very happy. I did buy 2 cuttings of this from Thailand, and they died, but this one is doing so much better, and I love this. I love anything that has a thin leaf. Let me just go in closer so you can get a better look at it. Gorgeous, isn't it? And this is my baby. This is my Hindu rope variegated, which is stunning. I have to show you here. There is her longest piece, and look at the red on that. Isn't that simply beautiful? Guys, if you can hear my dogs out the back garden, I apologize. They're playing like 2 crazy babies out there. So that is definitely my pride and joy, my Hindu rope. I've had that probably for 2 years, and it has put out quite a nice bit of growth. Here we have the Hoya Curtsii. I think this is the cutest plant. Look at those tiny little heart-shaped leaves, and it's got some nice growth on it there. And this one, again, I brought in a cutting of this from Thailand, which actually is in the other room. I forgot to show it to you, but this was a full plant that I purchased, and I just love it. Again, you probably can tell, I like small leaves, thin leaves. Well, no, I can't say that because I also have the Finlaysonii, which is a big leaf, but I particularly love this type of plant. So there's my Hoya Curtsii. Again, you can see the 3 of these are in a window in my kitchen, and I think it's probably southwesterly. So they're very, very happy there, and they're actually doing very nicely growing away. And I almost forgot to show you these 2 guys. So that was the Hoya, the one here on the right is the Hoya Curtsii that I actually bought as a cutting from Thailand last year, and I did actually almost lose it. I had overwatered it actually. So it has come back, but it really has stunted its growth. And this one beside it is the Eskimo. And it's not dead, it's still growing, but I'll say it has been a bit of a struggle. I'm really excited for this to take off because you can see it has a paler leaf, and it does have a kind of a mottling on it that's really, really pretty. So I'm excited for this to take off. It hasn't died, and that's all really we can hope for when we bring in plants from overseas. So those 2 are sitting. I just actually replanted them into these. I had them in a terracotta pot, and I just put them into these because I think sometimes the terracotta pots just dry out too quickly. So there's those two babies. Okay guys, so I just got a surprise. I thought this was a Dischidia, but it actually turns out to be a Hoya Nummulariodes. So I went back on my order to see what I had ordered to get the name of it, and that's when I found out. So I am so happy that this is actually another Hoya. So that little clipping I showed you earlier was also the Hoya. Guys, I almost forgot this. My washing machine is going in the background, so I apologise. This is a Hoya Shepherdi, and it's in my laundry room. And I always forget to put her in my videos because I only notice it when I come into my laundry room. But this laundry room is very bright, and it has actually grown. You can see there's a nice bit of length there. I do actually need to add more soil to it, because every time I put my finger in I notice that the soil has kind of disintegrated or whatever it is. But this is another beauty, a Hoya Shepherdi, a thinner leaf than the Kentiana. You can see it's quite long and thin. Okay guys, so I thought I was done, and then I remembered I have two Hoya in my ensuite. So this is my Hoya Hindu rope, and isn't it the cutest pot? So I have this here, and really, well, my bathroom, it is brightish, but it actually lives underneath this light, and it has actually grown, so it is quite happy here. So there's another Hindu rope, and okay, so this is my Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. Now this was actually a much bigger plant, but I've struggled with this plant. I have it 2 years and it has been an upward battle. I bought it in Walmart and I got a ton of mealybugs on it. I was constantly treating it. It's up here in my ensuite, so it's really away from other plants other than these few around it, but thankfully they never became infected. But then this side of it, you know, they become almost paper thin. They're not dead, but they just never bounce back. You never get that nice hard leaf that's typical of a Hoya. So I decided that was it. I gave up on half of it. I pulled half of it out, and since I pulled the other half out, this has been doing so much better. This is a new leaf, and there's some more leaves down here. It's a little lopsided in the pot, so I will need to transplant it. Probably put it back into the middle of the pot, but it's actually doing quite well, and it seems to be very happy here. Just at the corner here, I know this isn't a Hoya, but this was the most beautiful lipstick variegated plant that I put in an area that didn't have enough light, and I nearly lost it, but it is coming back. So getting away, digressing, but anyway, these are my two that I have in my ensuite. Okay guys, this is my Crimson Princess. I hope you can see it. I'm on my tippy toes trying to record it. So this hangs under two lights. It doesn't actually get any natural light. I'll just show you again these lights here, again 5000 Kelvin, and it's very happy. You can see actually at the back there's actually some pink on the leaves. I don't know if you can get that there through the camera, and she is growing nicely here in my family room, which has the lowest light actually in my house. Okay guys, so here is the Queen of Queens. This is my Hindu rope, and look at the length of her. Now guys, I have to apologize. My puppy jumped into the window today, and you can see she landed in my leaf propagation tray, so I apologize for the soil on the windowsill. But this has been a journey, this plant. She got mealybugs 2 years ago, which thankfully I was able to combat. However, I did lose a really long strand due to it, and I am actually now going to cut this back, and I'm going to propagate and plant in the top, because the top is looking a little sparse up there. This is in a low light window. This plant only gets light in the mornings, so it gets light from sunrise until about 11 o'clock, and then it's in full shade for the rest of the day, but it seems to be very happy. So that's the last of my Hoyas, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tour. So take care guys, and I will be back soon with another video.